CAMHS Autism assessment questions. Here's what they'll ask, how to prepare, and what to expect. Let's dive in. Right now, over 200,000 families are waiting for CAMHS assessments, with some waiting up to 4 years. But don't worry, we'll use this time to prepare you for every question they'll ask. Let's start with what happens in your first assessment. You'll meet a team of professionals, including psychiatrists, psychologists, and therapists. They'll work together to understand your child through specific questions about development behaviour and social skills. During the initial appointment, they'll focus on early development, questions about pregnancy and birth, your child's first milestones, early communication patterns, social development signs. Bear in mind, you don't need to stress about exact dates, general timeframes are fine. Moving on to social communication questions. Team needs to understand how your child interacts with others. They'll ask about how they respond to their name, eye contact patterns, how they play with others, their understanding of social situations. So it will be a good idea to start collecting examples now from home and your child's school setting. Now, let's talk about behavioural questions. The team will look closely at your child's daily patterns and routines. They'll ask specific questions about fixed routines they follow, how they handle changes, special interests or hobbies, sensory responses. Think about examples like reactions to loud noises or bright lights. These details really help the assessment team. Now, school life is super important too. CAMHS will want to know about classroom behaviour, friendships at school, how they handle break times, learning patterns. Your child's teacher might need to fill out some forms too, so it's worth mentioning the assessment to their school. Let's look at emotional understanding. This part focuses on how your child processes feelings. They'll ask about recognizing emotions, handling big feelings, coping with stress, managing overwhelming situations. Remember, there's no right or wrong answers here. Just be honest about your experiences. While you're waiting for the assessment, here's what you can do. Start gathering school reports, medical history, examples of behaviours, and any previous assessments. Think of it as building your child's story to help the team understand them better. Great. Let's break down the exact timeline of a CAMHS assessment. When your appointments finally start, here's what to expect. You first got the meeting, which is the parent interview, that lasts about 2 hours. Then there's the ADOS observation that lasts around 60 minutes. They might visit the school, usually in one full session. And you'll have some shorter appointments in between, about 45 minutes each. A quick side note for you, once everything starts, you're looking at 2 to 3 months in total. Now, this is the time for you to create your preparation checklist. Start a behaviour diary. Note down daily routines, social interactions, any repetitive behaviour, sensory responses you'll notice. You see, this information is gold for the assessment team. Now, let's look about getting your child ready. They need to know who they're going to be meeting, what rooms they'll be in, what kinds of activities to expect, when they can take breaks. A good idea for you will be to pack their favourite quiet toy or comfort team for assessment days. Now, here's what happens after all the appointments. The team needs to discuss everything. You'll get a detailed report in about 4 to 6 weeks. They'll arrange a feedback meeting. And most importantly, they'll outline the next steps and support. CAMHS Autism assessment questions can seem overwhelming, but take it at one step at a time. You don't need to memorize everything I've covered today. Just bookmark this video for when you need it.